What's up, Good Vibe Tribe? Coach Karlee here with Coach Bam. We are rocking and rolling on the beautiful island of Roatan here in Honduras, and today we're gonna be bringing you a little surprise flow. It's a little Karlee Krusher. Bam does not get to know what we're doing, so neither do you, but let's buckle up for the fun, follow along. All you'll need for this one today is ideally a mat or some kind of surface that you can work on that's not gonna bust up the knees. Bam's got some volleyball knee pads, so get creative with what you're using. Just keep those joints protected, of course. You know that we like to be a little default, so we also have some fabric bands. You do not have to use these as long as you're able to really maximize and create good pressure through your body, but it's just a fun way to add a little challenge or use as a training tool. So we're gonna be hitting a 30-minute flow here today, getting started with 3-minute working blocks. Essentially, that's gonna be the theme throughout the entire format. I've got 10 surprise exercises. Each one will be building upon the other. We'll be starting on the ground with some decompression and then working our way up to some good standing work. Are you ready for some surprise fun?
I'm ready.
All right, let's make it happen. So we're gonna start by getting into some tummy time here. 3 minutes of decomp. Really pull yourself in a good position here, toes in, heels out. We'll get started as we go. So we're gonna start by pulling our nose away from the floor. No hip thrusting going on. Good shapes all around, keeping us nice and protected. And now the theme today is gonna really be owning our backside, strong side, like usual, but also adding an intentional component of length. With every single movement or exercise or little challenge I throw your way, I want you to think pressurizing the backside, setting secure shapes, and then going the extra mile and finding a little extra length with every inhale as we go along. So right now on the floor, we're gonna be thinking about breathing in, filling up the chest with air. As we inhale, nice and full, and then as we exhale, we're breathing out a controlled breath through our mouth, pulling the ribs down, feeling that good core engagement, but then also, like I said, just a little extra intention behind length. So can your fingertips reach a little further away? Can the tips of your toes reach farther back? Or if you're toe tucking, that's fine too. Can you pull a little bit more length out of the hamstrings? Couple more cycles of that breath. Deep inhales. Nice controlled exhales here as we start with some good opening. Priming the back, bringing in intention from our toes all the way to the fingertips, through the top of the head, nice long. I always like to start with a little tummy time, especially after a long day on the computer, or maybe responding to people on social media or those messages. You know, a lot of us really find ourselves being pulled towards our screens, so we want to set the tone for the day before we get into the extra gritty work by pulling out that length in the back of the neck, those two bones on the back of the neck. Slightly tuck the chin and find a little extra pull there. You can also place your hands next to your chest. Any variation you need, maybe with some alternating reaches. This time is for you, just bringing intention to our session. 30 more seconds here. Feel the warmth starting to enter into the body. Muscles getting warmed up, joints a little bit more open. 3, 2, 1. Carefully pull yourself up into a good rocker position. I forgot to put my band on, so I'm gonna slide that on right now, because I'm not skipping that part. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we got some good priming going on. Everything's engaged here. We have 3 minutes of rocking. 3 minutes of rocking variations to start, and then I'm gonna start to add some challenges along the way. So right now, going through that checklist, pressure, pressing the outside part of the shins into that mat as you pull back, or into your training tool, feeling entire backside engagement, and then bring that awareness, of course, to shape, heels opening up, or even if your toes are tucked, making sure you're finding that outside strong side part of the feet. And now that last little component that we really want to be mindful of today, that length. So no matter what I'm doing, reaching my tailbone back long, reaching my neck towards you at home. You'll be reaching towards us back here. Good, now we're gonna get into some of these challenging motions. We're gonna hold an isometric, so pull back, engage, pull your hands to your chest first. Make sure you don't lose any of that pressure, shape, and length. And now we're gonna start to incorporate intentional lengthening. So as our hips are pulling back, let's reach, extend, extend, extend those arms all the way out in front of you. You can pretend like you're holding onto a ball, maybe a basketball, or maybe a softball size, whatever feels good. Not shrugging, not feeling pinching, feeling good, lengthening from the bottom of my tailbone all the way long through my fingertips. Take some cycles of breath here. Fill the chest up. As you exhale, reach a little bit longer, a little bit taller. This is how we can engage everything that we love to work in the front, but we're not compromising our patterning. Good. Hold, hold, hold. Reset if you need to. Now we have one more minute here where we're gonna actively pull back and load as we're extending forward. So we'll just work through some repetitions here. Reach forward as you reach back with that tailbone. Not shrugging. Feeling the lats engage. It's almost like, yes, I'm reaching, so I'm pushing away from my body, but it's almost like my lats are pulling me to get there. Good. This reaching will be a common theme that we're gonna come back to throughout our surprise flow. One more hold it on that next repetition. Check back in, press the top of the feet into the floor, rip that band apart or the mat, and reach one more time for 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax, back down. How's that feel?
That's intense.
Super intense. So we're gonna now take this, you can keep the band on or just remove it as you need to, because we're gonna take this into a good downward dog motion, but it's not just downward dog and pressing into the shoulders. We wanna still think about pulling back and loading as we're in that classic downward dog position. So let's go ahead into our next block of work, getting ourselves set up, strong side of the feet, and let's push the hips back, 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 back. And this is a good opportunity over the course of these 3 minutes to make little teeny tiny adjustments along the way. So let's start with the feet and we'll work our way up. Find that outside edge. Feet are pointing straight ahead, maybe a little pigeoned if we need it, but mostly on that outside edge near that 4th and 5th toe on the padding just beneath. Strong arches maintained, no flat tires. Pull those hips back, back, back now, pressing out and back. So I'm feeling a ton of engagement in my glutes, in my hamstrings, so lengthen out those hammies. And then check back in with that entire upper body. Fingertips on the floor, same thing as above, as below. Strong hand position, outside edge or fingertips. I'm not dumping all the weight into my shoulders. It's like I'm pulling everything back away from there, feeling really strong in my hip loading, but reaping the benefits of lengthening. Retract the shoulders back if you need to take, maybe the shoulders are shrugging up near the ears, pull them down and back. Let your head hang. Feed into those sticky spots, feed into letting go the tension that maybe you've been penting up. Maybe work's been a little stressful. Maybe the kids are driving you a little crazy. Just let it go right now. Your hands can be far out in front of you or maybe pushing up into a little hinge, but I mean, I guess this is one giant hinge, but just give your body what it needs. Continue maintaining pressure, shape, and length. I know this is nice and relaxing with the scenery and the water, but the work should be intentional and intense right now. 1 more minute here. You can add a little squinging if you like, if you need to fall out of it instead of falling out of the shapes. Just give yourself a little reset with the squinge. Retreat to the ground as needed. Remember, the ground is your friend. Carefully pull yourself back down if you need to take a break before pulling yourself back up. Intentionally push those fingertips into the ground and pull everything back along. Last little bit here, 20 seconds. One more big, deep inhale. One long exhale. 5, exhale. 4, exhale. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, we're gonna go back down to the ground, and actually, if we can, if you are wearing the mat, if you're wearing the band, I'd like for us to ditch these just briefly. So come out of the band, because now we're gonna do some alternating ground to standing movements. So we're gonna be in a half kneeling position. We're gonna pull back, because again, we're loading, and now we wanna bring length through the foot, all the way through the back of the leg, hamstring, and peeling ourselves slowly into this drop-in position. Hips back, 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 till you find maximum length. Good. And then you'll step forward, and you're actually gonna alternate, and then bring yourself down on the opposite side. Big hinge, 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 reach for the floor, pull back, touch. That's 1, and now you'll go back up on that leg. Pull up, 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 up. Reach, 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 reach all the way. Max length, max loading. Take a step and alternate. Good, so now we're gonna work through the next 3 minutes of this. Take your time. Your pace might not fully match ours. That's okay. Loading and lengthening, that's the name of the game. So whatever time it takes for you to get to that good, secure drop-in position is fine. Challenge yourself even when you're transitioning. Challenge yourself even when you're transitioning. Big hinge, down, down, down before pulling. Back, 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 back with the hip. Touch and go. Pull the hip up first, hamstring. Slowly peel your hand away from the floor. Good, now we're loaded up, a little bit more lengthening. Can you control good footwork, good strong hips as we go to the next phase? Hinge, 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 down, down, down. Slow, controlled. Peel yourself off the floor. Pause at the top, get that loading maxed out. Air chair, pause, and then next step. Reach, 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 reach. And then pull back, back, back as you come down, avoiding dumping everything into the front of the knee. A lot of times people just want to go straight down. We're trying to stay super backside, strong side. Good. Single leg, strength, length, security. A lot of balance here. You want to train balance on the surface, the environment you're going to be finding yourself in mostly, which is often a hard surface, so get really good getting up and down off the floor. Especially as you get older, those hard falls leave a lot of people busted and broken, a lot of broken hips. So we want to avoid that by locking it in right now while we're working. 1 more minute. The next few movements we do are going to start to increase in their intensity, so take breaks as needed, use support as needed, but challenge yourself. Try to hang in there with us. Making sure not to sacrifice quality of movement, quality repetitions. This is an easy way to really feel like you're doing something similar to yoga. We're just hyper mindful of the how. So patterns, 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 very similar to a warrior pose, just organized, spiraling, incorporating everything we love about strong feet, strong hips. Let's get 1 more in there. Back, 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 back. Lift, 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 lift. Tall, tall, tall. Let's pause in our next air chair. If you like the band, let's put that back on real quick. Just put it back on, put it back on. Okay, so we're staying paused at that air chair position, and we're going into our next block of work. Right into it when you get there. Big hinge back, strong feet, straight, arches, check, check, check. Load it up. Find your pressure system here first. So engage with the ground, engage with the band, hips are back. Tiny little movements of the hips if you need to pull a little bit more length out of places. We're just avoiding right now for these 30 minutes, avoiding that hip forward, that thrust forward. Good, just like with the rockers we did, stay loaded up. If you have a hard time with balancing too high off the heels, just let the heels rest slightly, but always being ready to full go. Pretending like you can slide a piece of paper in there, or like you're walking on coral. It's very sharp, so make sure that we don't want to be heel striking on the coral. Good. Keep that pressure through your entire backside and reach your arms just like you did when we were on the ground, holding onto a basketball, holding onto a softball as far out as you can. Remember the theme right now, pressure, good shape, but length, really intentional with length. Couple breath cycles here. Try not to get stuck. Pack that shoulder down and back a little bit and then reach up through your hands. So you should feel that engagement in your entire line on the side of your body. Super intense. The back wants to light up like crazy. So maybe put the pressure somewhere else. Maybe get it back down to the feet a little bit. Reach a little longer. Use your breath to help you stay in this position. It's super intense. Pull the back of the neck nice and long. Good, hands to our chest. Let's start to get a little bit more active. So as we pull back, extend, 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 just like we did on the ground. We're just gonna rep that out a couple times. Go at your own pace. Right now we're owning this air chair, a little bit more of a squatting position here, opening. Woo. So incredible what you can do with your own body weight. Your own body weight in paradise. You could recode in paradise. You need nothing but just a little bit of those details in your movement library to help elevate your game. Good, and time, shake it out for a second because we're not moving quite yet. We're gonna now take that opening and pull to neutral, and now we're gonna start to find our hinge work. So good, intentional, active hinging. Right into it. Back is gonna get really strong today. You want a back chain of length? We're going for that back chain of length. Keep pressurizing out and feel like you're pulling back with the feet as you're funneling everything in with the femurs, feeling the hips, that movement inwards. We don't want to lose that ability to funnel in and long. This is that length component. Pull the hips back. Top of the head forward. Use support as needed. Countertops, brooms, whatever you have available right now. We're gonna use our pretend support. This is imaginary support. Good. We have a little bit of a good active forward fold coming up. I'll give you a little sneak peek of that. So hang in there with that back. I know it's on fire right now, but we have a little break in the set coming up. Still gonna be challenging, but it'll give us some relief in that low back that I know is just working, working, working. Good news, we're only halfway there. Stay strong in it, hold, and let's take this time to reach out again. Heels can be resting down like a little kickstand, but we're feeling that outside blade. Reach long, long, long. super intense. I feel my hamstrings like crazy right now and my low back. Should not be painful, just a lot of that muscle endurance, muscle fatigue. So retreat as needed. 1 more minute. Hold or be active in these repetitions here. Funneling in and long as we don't feel that collapsing inside. We want to avoid that. Pull everything nice and high. That inside ankle bone is climbing high. The hips are climbing high. Oh, wow. This is a simple 30-minute flow that you can hit after work. Like I said, with the screens pulling us forward, we're trying to get back into a better position. Or long travel days, whether it's commuting, sitting in the car, plane, boats, a lot of options that put us in these compressed, seated positions that our body doesn't love. 10 more seconds, hang in there, hang in there, hang in there. So this is really good one to come back to. 5, 4, slowly, 3, 2, make your way down, and we're reaching. Forward fold. 3-minute break here for the back, but not the lower body. You want to continue working here. Continue pressing out with the outside edge of the foot, pulling the knees at least neutral or in, and getting those hips nice and long. Finding length in the hamstrings here. Ooh, this band might have to go for me. I think I need to move it up a little bit. Oh, the band. Super deceiving. There we go, I think it was just a little low. I need to adjust it. Still being active. Again, use support as needed. Yoga block, medicine ball, low coffee table is okay. If you're not ready there, you can even use the shins for support, knees. Yeah, it's gotta go. Super intense. My hamstrings are like, help. Okay. Don't push through something just for the sake of it being a little bit more difficult. Be smart with the work so you can continue showing back to this every single day. Not here to break the body in a negative way. So if something is feeling a little bit weird, a little off, that red light, listen to it. Let the neck go, let the head go. A lot of times if we are hyper flexible or just, can be Gumby down here, we just dump everything, but let's stay active in it. Keep the pressurizing, keep the muscles engaged. If you can just hyperextend back, put something between your knees, like a yoga block or a pillow, and squeeze, and then pull the hips high to the sky. Good, less than a minute here. Then we've got a couple more intentional challenges and one last big fold, a little bit deeper than this one to round this out. Back chain and length is the theme today. A lot of lengthening, starting with tummy time, getting the upper body open, and then moving our way along. In 20 seconds, we're gonna move to a little bit of step decompression work. So if you have something you can stand on, a book, some stairs, you'll start to make your way to those. Get creative if you need to, or challenge yourself and continue working through some active hinges. Just a lot of volume of hinging, but it's good. Okay, slowly make your way back to standing inch by inch. Shake it out, check in with your body, make sure your head comes up last. We don't want anyone getting too dizzy. And let's make our way to our steps here. Make our way to our steps. So we're gonna use the dock. We're gonna start with just some classic step decomp. Top of the feet on the step. Top of the feet on the step, heels hanging off. And we're going to use whatever is in front of us. So whether you are hanging off a step holding a pole, maybe you're using the floor, or if you are using a staircase, that's fine. Just some good step decompression with support to start. Now that we opened up the hammies with some active hinges and we got in our first forward fold, this is a good opportunity to pull a little bit more length out. So feel free to move through letting the heels drop, 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 and then climb, 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 and flow through that for at least 10 cycles. The most important thing, not collapsing and not searching for more depth and sacrificing that structure. So avoiding that collapse inside when you pull down. If you find where your end point is, just hang out right there, that's fine. Once you feel yourself relax and ease into this, let the head go now a little bit more. I know sometimes we want to hold on to that tension there. Try to let yourself let go. Feel free to add a little squinging, a little opening, pulling out a little bit more length when we come in. Squat, hinge, out, in, open, close. See if while you're down here for the next minute, you can start to integrate all the things we started with. So we have that tummy time, hands reaching above our head. We've got the downward dog position, so pulling length out of the back of the legs, but also through the upper body, through the shoulders, hands, neck. How long can you get even in this active hinge position? .30 more seconds, and then we're gonna work through an active step decompression where we stand up a little taller and we fight for that loading, pressurizing the glutes. Back's gonna come back online. Good, we're almost there. Carefully and slowly peel your hands away from the floor, strong as you hinge all the way back up. And we're gonna go right into this active step decompression here. So heels are still hovering. See if you can keep everything engaged, hamstrings, glutes, tall through the back of the neck. If you have a wall in front of you and you need to lose, if you lose balance, just default back to that. We have a length through the back of our legs. Now let's open up our arms a little here. If you can maintain this balance so strong, reach far, far, far away. Tuck the chin slightly, pull the chin back, 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 and then long, long, long. This is something that I have to be really good about practicing. I lose it quite a bit, so always need to get back there a little bit more. See if you can incorporate some active motions. Little arm circles forward or backwards. Not feeling any pinching, feeling the lats help you out, support that entire shoulder structure. Good, switch, whatever direction you're going, let's reverse it. Don't lose that balance. Don't lose that pressure, shape, and length. A little taller through the top of the head. Whew, good. Let's add a little extra challenge by the ears, knuckles by the ears, touch the elbows in front, open to the backside. If you have to hinge a little bit more to grab the ground, that's fine. Might make things creep up a little bit more in that back again, but all good. That's what we're here for, a little strength, little length. Five more. 1, 2, good. 3, 4, stay holding after this next one. 5, hold, hold, hold. You got less than a minute. Good. Almost there, almost there. Challenge yourself. Can you reach out in this step decomp one more time? Longest reach, as long as you can. Good, hold, 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 15 seconds, working through it. Biggest hinge. Engage again. And slowly come out of this. I'll give you an option. Do you want one more forward fold or do you want some lying back decomp?
One more forward fold.
Okay, one more fold. So flip around off your step. We're actually gonna use a little bit more depth if we can get there. We've been opening and lengthening and lengthening and lengthening. So for this final big forward fold, big Jefferson-like curl, let's go ahead and see if we can reach a little bit deeper. So if you have that step you're working on, slowly make your way all the way back down. Let everything go one more time, one more opportunity to engage back there. Feel strong, feel the strength building up in your entire body, and then finding a little more length here at the end. Check back in with your feet. Are they straight? How are those arches looking? My right one likes to be a little lazy, so I gotta keep an eye on it. Make your way toward your knees. Are they funneling in, or at least straight, at least neutral? Just the behavior of pulling in and lengthening with the hips nice and long to the ceiling. And finally, just let that neck go for the next 2 minutes here. Big, good inhales through the nose, excuse me. And then control that breath. And every time, just let yourself go a little bit more, a little bit stronger today, a little bit longer. Let that neck go. Good, we've got about 1.5 minutes to spend here. It's little 30-minute blocks. Sometimes you can just write a list out. Write a list out of 10 things, set the timer up, and just progress your way through. Sometimes we get really stuck in regimen. I have to do this progressive overload and this and that, but sometimes your body's just like, hey, we wanna mix it up a little bit, finish up a podcast, your favorite show, but just get some movement in while you're doing those things. Your body will thank you. Reach a little bit deeper here. You got about 20 more seconds to pull a little bit more length out. As slow as you can over the next 10 seconds, start to inch your way all the way back up. Being very careful not to just pop everything up. That's how those dizzy spells happen, but inch by inch, vertebrae by vertebrae, until that neck comes out, comes up last. Wow. Amazing. Amazing. Just want to start singing Aladdin. A whole new world. Really, really good job. That was just a nice little 30-minute recode from the ground to standing with a lot of intention of back chain engagement and then lengthening. Length and strength is the name of the game. If that felt good to you, feel free to double that up. There's no harm in that. So great job. Thank you for joining us here in Paradise. Until next time.